After landing Ryan Wingo, Texas has their sights set on some major flip targets. A few months ago, the Longhorns looked like it was a long shot to land a top 5 class. Now, though, it looks like there's a legitimate path for them to do so. And in this video, we're going to uncover yet another recruit Texas is trying to flip from Auburn. Will the Horns be able to take advantage of a vulnerable Texas A&M commit list? LSU already has. And UF has 2 commits Texas would like to flip. Now, I remember back in May and June when Texas was sitting at 23 or 24 in the country. I had Jerry Hamilton on, and we used to play a game called Texas's Path to a Top 10 class, to a Top 5 class, and it seemed a little bit like a distant fairy tale, nearly impossible. Then Colin Simmons committed to Texas. Then it was 5-star Brandon Baker. Then on Wednesday, that was the one that sort of woke me up where I saw the vision. It was 5-star wide receiver Ryan Wingo. He committed to Texas, and now it does look like Texas has a legitimate shot at yet another top 5 class under Steve Sarkisian. All right, Texas fans, exciting time. Subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We are here talking Longhorns recruiting, and we want you to be a part of it. Hit subscribe. Thank you. Okay, let's go get Jerry Hamilton from Inside Texas for more. Jerry, let's talk Ryan Wingo for a second. How significant was it to land a 5-star wide receiver that back in June, you famously said Texas has a puncher's chance, which doesn't sound great if you're a Texas fan, but now they land him. I mean, how did they come from that to this?
Yeah, I think what's interesting about that recruitment was Ryan Wingo was on campus in June of 2022 on an unofficial visit. The same week in Arch Manning, Anthony Hill, Malik Muhammad, some of those guys were on an official visit. And Sark personally recruited Ryan Wingo for a long time, including through his wide receiver coaching change, right? So they really stuck with Wingo. I think when we had kind of heard that I put in an RPM at the time, ended up flipping the Missouri as a mistake, mistakenly probably, that he actually gave a silent commitment to Texas September 15th when him and his 7 family members came down for an unofficial visit around that Wyoming game. I think, look, A.D. Mitchell probably going pro, Xavier Worthy probably going pro. There's opportunity in Austin for him. And I think when you see what A.D. Mitchell's done at Texas under Steve Sarkisian, and when Steve Sarkisian kind of illustrates what some past receivers have done in his scheme, it's easy to visualize, if you're Ryan Wingo, the chance to come in and be an instant impact player at Texas in that scheme, especially considering he's an early enrollee. I think he really liked that Texas quarterback room. The guys up and coming and on the way. KJ Lacey in 2025, Arch Manning already on campus, right? Trey Owens in 24, Malik Murphy obviously got his first start Saturday. And then last thing, Josh, one of the things that stuck with me with him was he talked about, I said, what is it you like about Austin? He said, it's a big enough city where I can get away from being a football player to university and still have a life. There's a lot of obviously business opportunities in the NIL world in Austin. So I think you put all that together and it kind of makes sense for Ryan Wingo. And here's another thing. Everybody in that family's gone out of state to play college football.
Some really good intel there. Only Jerry Hamilton can take you behind the scenes and let you know that this recruitment was done since September. Wow, I did not know that he was a silent commitment.
Hey, I flipped my RPM back to Missouri like everybody in the industry did. But at the end of the day, I think he came back to where he wanted to go.
Yeah. Hey, you fell for the okie doke. It's okay. You're not the only one. Yeah. Let's go over to Little Rock, Arkansas, where IMG Academy, well, he plays at IMG Academy now, but TJ Lindsay, 4-star defensive lineman, an Auburn commitment. Yes, another Auburn commitment that Texas is after. We talk a lot about DeAndre Carter. Well, TJ Lindsay told Inside Texas that the Longhorns are still in the picture. So the 6'3.5", 265-pounder has opened up the lines of communication with Texas. Jerry, what is the latest on Texas flip chances here?
Yeah, I mean, he talked not just with D-line coach Bo Davis. He also spoke with Steve Sarkisian recently, too. So that's a guy that's really listening, right? He's also talking to Miami. Miami's trying to work to get him back on campus as well. So this thing looks like the same 3 schools involved as when TJ committed initially. It was Auburn, Texas, Miami. He was going to play in the SEC. In my estimation, they did pick Auburn. But it'll be interesting to see. He's considering taking an unofficial visit this weekend for the Kansas State game. If Texas gets him on campus, and I think this could get real once again. He's scheduled to be at the Iron Bowl in late November, right? Mm-hmm. So if Texas is actually going to make a true run at this, they're going to need to get him on campus before he gets back to Auburn for the Iron Bowl. And Miami's trying as well, which I think helps Texas. It's not just one team coming after him. It's two teams he's still talking to, probably with similar messages.
Yeah, we can see if Miami can also help loosen up that commitment a little bit. All right. Now, we talked last Thursday, Texas is eyeing a pair of Florida targets that they're trying to flip, and Wardell Mack, the corner, and Xavier Filsaime, the safety. Wardell Mack from Louisiana, Filsaime is from Texas. Now, Xavier Filsaime did not show up at the game this weekend. We thought that he might. So who do you think Texas fans need to focus on here down the stretch? Which one of them do you think Texas has a better shot at?
I think both of those guys, honestly, but probably Filsaime. I think Filsaime probably, right, because he lives in the state of Texas. His father's going to be in McKinney. His mom does live in Orlando. But here's the thing. He's really started talking to Texas a lot. He's looking for that opportunity to be an impact safety. He's scheduled to be at USC this weekend. We'll see if he makes that trip. I think he's going to show up on Texas's campus before he graduates high school in December and signs on the 20th. I think Texas has a shot there with Filsaime. We'll see if Florida can hold him off. Wardell Mack, look, Texas has to get him back on campus for me. The thing about Wardell is he really likes the idea of living in the state of Florida and going to college. That's something that Texas, LSU have to overcome. Something I think Florida State's still been hitting Wardell on throughout the season. Wardell's supposed to be at that FSU-Miami game coming up. So I would say Filsaime, even though Mack's the one who has made an official visit to Texas and been in contact with Texas longer.
All right, from one SEC to another that Texas is picking on. Now, Texas A&M commitless. Well, I shouldn't even say Texas is picking on. It's really LSU doing some damage here. Yeah. But there was rumors that five-star defensive lineman and Aggies commitment, Dominic McKinley, would be in Austin this weekend. He wasn't. But do you think Texas has a real shot at the five-star from Louisiana? Do we see him take a visit this season?
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting how the rest of A&M season plays out there. I think there's enough just unknown with this recruiting class now, with Weston Davis flipping the LSU, Draylon Miller from Silsbee decommitting, looking like LSU's the favorite. Like you said there, Josh, LSU is doing well against Texas A&M right now in that recruiting class. Dom McKinley has been in contact lightly with Texas in recent weeks. He actually reached out to Texas last week just via text, so the communication is still there. And as long as that family and the kid are communicating with Texas, I think Texas is sitting back and they're going to be in position to make a move there if Texas A&M struggles at the end of this season and there's more cold feet in that recruiting class and there's those questions really get ramped up about the future of Jimbo Fisher in College Station. I think at that point in time, if that transpires, then I think Texas will be right there in position to make a move for McKinley.
Man, that D-line class would be insane if they actually have a shot at McKinley. We'll put that to the side and continue to watch what happens there. Jerry, we are talking a little 2025 here on the Inside Scoop, and certainly a lot more in the coming months. But before we started taping, you told me we got to talk about a 2026 prospect that Texas fans need to know about. Who is on campus this weekend, and why are we talking 2026?
Yeah, I don't hype this stuff up much, guys. I mean, I really don't. These kids are young. This kid's still 15. John Turntine III is a left tackle at North Crowley. And I've heard a little bit about him, but then here's the reality. He's going to be up for the number one prospect in the country in that class if he keeps going the direction he is. He is that talented. He's 6'5", 290, 82-inch, 83-inch wingspan, 10.5-inch hands, body quickness, reactive quickness, plays in space. He looks like a senior as a sophomore playing at the highest level of Texas high school football in a 9-0 team. John Turntine III. I just want Texas fans and recruiting fans in general
to
take his name down. His father was a standout at TCU defensive lineman under Gary Patterson. His mom was a Division I basketball at Texas Southern. Josh, last thing on him. No, he's up to be the valedictorian of his class, 4.0 student, wants to be a neurosurgeon after hopefully a career in the NFL. This kid checks every box at a young age, starting with his on the field. then he's checking the boxes off the field. It's recruiting fans. Y'all are on the On3 recruiting scoop every weekend. Remember that name in the future.
Awesome, man. Jerry, only Jerry Hamilton can come in and drop scoop like that and make it interesting. Thank you for dropping by today, Jerry, talking a little Texas recruiting.
You got it, guys.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that content, be sure to subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We have a new page dedicated only to recruiting. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now.